So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
The Box of Oddities.
You seem a tad distracted. You just got off the phone with your mom. What's going on there?
That's the thing. It's always an adventure. She was very upset because, long weekend, we did not plan well, and we ran out of dog food.
Right.
And the boys eat prescription food, so we have to get it from the vet, and the vet's not open, of course, today. So I was cooking them some food. I went to the store, and I bought them some stuff so I could make them some food. And my mom was very upset to discover that I was cooking them chicken.
Why was she upset with that?
Well, because, we're vegetarians.
Sure.
And I don't... you remember last year when I stayed with her because she had her knee replaced there, that she had that robot knee put in?
Right.
And she obviously couldn't cook and move around the kitchen the first couple days. So I was cooking for her, but I wouldn't cook her chicken.
What kind of a daughter are you?
I made her food. I made her meals like grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff. I didn't want to cook meat for her. Uh-huh. And I don't think that's unreasonable. But the boys, they needed food for them. I had to make them food for them.
You love the dog more than you do your mom.
That's not true.
That's what you're saying. You're saying, I love our dogs more than I love my mother. I'm just going to give her a portion of watered down gruel served in a rusty pie plate that I'm going to slide under the door like they used to do in Dickensian workhouses.
Listen, I don't know what your goal is here, but you know that's not far from where she actually feels. So let's not make it worse.
Okay, it's not true. We got an email commenting on the Denver International Airport and all the freaky things there. I guess he's been there quite a bit. And he said, most, if not all major U.S. airports have chain link security fences with razor wire, barbed wire on top, similar to a prison fence. All of them except DIA have a razor wire / barbed wire facing outward away from the airport, so to keep someone or something from getting inside. The security fence around DIA is facing inward so as to keep someone or something from getting out.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I also got some feedback from our friend from Albuquerque who said that she has spent a significant amount of time in the Denver airport and layovers and such. And it's bizarre because there's a second floor there that seems to be pretty much unused. So she goes up there and hangs out, has a little nappy, uses the largely unoccupied ladies' rooms because there are no, quote, weird airport men there.
Well, that's because they're all hiding underground in those Nazi bunkers.
Allegedly.
So you go first this week.
Oh, I go first. Mm-hmm. Madame Monnier was a widow who lived in an upper-class Parisian estate with her lawyer son Marcel and daughter Blanche. In 1876, when she was 25, Blanche, a young, beautiful socialite, fell in love with an older lawyer who lived nearby. The lawyer was not as successful as Madame Monnier would have liked for her daughter. The Monniers were upper class, high society types. What's that A word that I can't think of?
Aristocracy.
There we go. All I could think of was cats.
Airhammer.
At one point, Madame Monnier had won an award for the Committee of Good Works for her generous contributions to the city. The lawyer, though, was older and poor, and she disapproved of this match, this love match. But Blanche wanted to marry him. And then Blanche disappeared. There's Blanche. Mm-hmm. There's her mom, which I don't know her mom's name other than Madame.
Okay.
There's no mom name. Of course, this is 1870s, so a lot of that stuff. She was the wife of so and so. You know how that goes. That was a problem when we were doing our ancestry too. Is that when you get further back, it's all like, oh, it's Tom Schubenheimen, and then Lady Schubenheimen. It's like, did she not have a name?
From the Passaic, New Jersey, Schubenheimens.
Anyway. Yeah, and then Marcel. So time went by. Madame Monnier and Marcel mourned Blanche and moved on with their lives. Years went by, and there was no word on what happened to Blanche. 24 years pass. It's now 1901. The Attorney General of Paris receives a strange, anonymous note. Monsieur Attorney General, I have the honor to inform you of an exceptionally serious occurrence. I speak of a spinster who is locked up in Madame Monnier's house, half-starved and living on a putrid litter for the past 25 years. In a word, in her own filth.
Ooh. Wait, so her mother locked her up to keep her from marrying this guy?
Yeah, but we're getting there.
Okay.
All right. So, of course, the police were shocked by this accusation. She was a woman of wealth, high breeding, blah, blah, blah. Officers were, though, sent to inspect the house, and although they were denied at first entrance, they forced open the door and got inside. They searched the home and discovered a door upstairs with a padlock on it. They got to the door, opened it up, and discovered a dark, tiny, foul-smelling room. Piles of feces and dried vomit blanketed the floor. The remnants of food scraps, rodent droppings surrounded a putrid straw mattress on which lay a now nearly 50-year-old Blanche.
Oh my God, so she was so determined that her daughter not marry this guy that she made her stay in poop for 25 years?
You can phrase it that way.
I just did.
Right. Yeah. I think obviously there's more going on, but we'll get to that. Police took her to the hospital because at this point they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know this was Blanche.
Wow.
They just saw this woman. They thought, okay, we got to get her some help. Brought her to the hospital. And it was when they got to the hospital that they figured out this is the missing girl.
Now, was she speaking? Was she cognizant of who she was, where she was? Or was she just a total,
I was getting different reports about that. Right. Overall, there wasn't a lot of cognizance coming from her. There was an article in the New York Times published in June of 1901 that reads this, and it's so upsetting. Time passed, and Blanche was no longer young. The attorney she loved so died in 1885. During all that time, the girl was confined to a lonely room, fed with scraps from her mother's table, when she received any food at all. Her only companions were the rats that gathered to eat the hard crusts she threw upon the floor.
Aww.
Not a ray of light penetrated her dungeon, and what she suffered can only be surmised.
Now, how long was she in there after her fiancé died?
15 years.
She didn't let her out after the guy died? She just left her in there?
Yeah. The idea was that she was told that when she agreed she would not marry this man, she would be let out. And Blanche just kept saying, no, I will have him. And her mom just became more and more incensed, if you will.
Wow.
And then, so when he kicked it, I'm sure after all that time, you can't go, okay, then out of your room you go. Doot.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb here, but that's some bad parenting.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's a mistake, as we so often do, to say this girl was treated this way because she did this. This woman, the mother, Madame, was obviously a nut job. And that's the thing, is so often we hear, well, this girl rejected this boy and so he shot her. And it's like, no,
Whoa.
this boy is a GD nut job and he shot a woman who stood up for herself. You know, that's just, so often we turn it around.
Gotcha.
And we create a situation where the victim created the situation.
Right, it's victim blaming.
And that's not, it's not the way that it goes. So this girl, Blanche, once very healthy, now weighed a mere 55 pounds. And it was reported that after they got her set up in her hospital room, she was breathing clean air, looking at the light streaming through the window, which reportedly she had not seen in 24 years. And she said, "How lovely it is."
Wow. So what happened?
Okay. The next day, her mother was arrested. She did eventually confess to her crimes. An outraged crowd gathered outside her cell as people found out, holy whoa, that's where Blanche has been this whole time. And of course, people had offered their condolences. They had felt the loss of this child with this family. And of course, so they're pissed. And their admonishment triggered a heart attack. Madame Monnier had a heart attack in jail, and she died in the infirmary 15 days later.
That's poetic.
Blanche's brother, Marcel, was first sentenced to 15 months in prison, but he was later released as he never physically restricted his sister's movement. So he wasn't in charge of the household. He didn't lock her up. He was aware of what was going on. But whoever was in charge there, said that he wasn't the one who did it, even though he knew of everything that was going on.
Wow.
Which got me to thinking about duty to rescue, which I had to look up because originally I thought it was called the Good Samaritan Law. And I guess Good Samaritan Law and duty to rescue are two separate things. And this kind of blew my mind. So generally, a person cannot be held liable for doing nothing while another person is in peril, which seems completely backwards to me. I feel like if you know that someone's in danger, not doing something is
You're complicit.
assisting. Yes, exactly. So duty to rescue may arise where a person creates a hazardous situation where more people may become injured, and parents have a duty to rescue their minor children. There are other situations, like in certain states, a spouse has a duty to rescue their spouse. And in the United States, as of 2009, 10 states had laws on the books requiring that people at least notify law enforcement and or seek aid for strangers under peril. And that's where the Good Samaritan Law comes in. If a person is trying to assist in rescuing someone and succeeds, that person can't then sue them for something that happened during the course of their rescue.
Gotcha.
But you remember a little while ago, maybe a year or two ago, there were those kids in Florida who watched and laughed as a man drowned.
Yes.
You remember that?
I do.
There's no reason that should be legal. Like that makes me irate to the point where if you see that someone's in danger to the point where they're going to die, to not act, to me, is just as bad as taking part in their death.
And by acting, like in this case, maybe not jumping into the riptide and trying to save this guy, but notify somebody, let somebody know. Don't just point and laugh.
Right.
Good God. So how long did Blanche live? Did it say how long she lived after she was rescued?
Yes. She did. She was unable to live outside on her own after this, horrendous event, obviously. So she was sent to a assisted living facility, which I think they called a sanitarium at that time, and then died in 1913. So it was 12 years later. And her brother, though he didn't, see any justice in my mind, it's thought by many that he was the one who wrote the letter to the Attorney General So he did act
Maybe
maybe
a little.
Eventually.
Yeah. Well, you think he was scared of his mother?
It's possible. It sounds like she was a GD nutjob.
And maybe he was afraid she was going to write him out of the will or something like that.
That's very possible. Or lock him up in a room.
Yeah, that's true too.
You don't know. So anyway, that's the story of Blanche Monnier and her imprisonment by her mother for love.
25 years.
24 years.
24 years living in a small little dungeon-like room.
According to one report, smaller than a general cubicle size, like enough for her to lay down,
like a closet.
Like a closet.
Oh my God!
Tiny.
No ventilation.
No.
No windows.
No.
Just lying in 2+ decades worth of poop and vomit.
Rodent droppings.
Wow.
Rotting food, rotting mattress, your skin's rotting.
How did she survive that?
How? Who knows?
I feel bad now complaining about the laundry piling up on the bed. This woman lived in poop for 2.5 decades almost.
Oh, here's a picture, and that's when she was found.
Oh my God. That's horrifying.
She's not wearing clothes. That's the way that her body looks.
Oh, that poor woman.
It's horrendous. 50 years old, 55 pounds.
Why didn't the dogs interrupt us before you showed me that picture?
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm never complaining ever about anything ever again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV! Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free.
Truth is ours.
It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Plan B is a backup birth control option that's there for you when things don't go according to plan. It specifically works after unprotected sex and before pregnancy occurs by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is available nationwide at all major retailers and through delivery apps like DoorDash. No ID, prescription, or age requirement. It's the #1 OBGYN recommended brand of emergency contraception, and it won't impact your future fertility. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
And now, that thing in the middle.
Here's something nice. I made you something.
You made me something?
Yeah.
What'd you make me?
Yeah, it's for the thing in the middle.
You made a thing for the thing in the middle.
Yes, but it's for you. Because you know how you're like a Civil War guy.
I'm a history buff, yes.
It's true.
Especially haunted battlefields.
Every time Civil War categories come up in Jeopardy, I know you're going to smash my face like with a shovel. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to feel real bad about myself.
Sure.
And I love that about you.
Thank you.
And it's Memorial Day. And so, we had talked about doing something different for the thing in the middle. So I wanted to make you a thing that goes in the middle for you.
General John A. Logan, Civil War General, U.S. Senator, and founder of Memorial Day, was born on February 9th, 1826 in Jackson County, Illinois. When war broke out against the Confederacy in 1861, Logan enlisted immediately. He was serving with the Michigan Regiment at the Battle of the First Bull Run on July 21st. Now, when the Civil War ended, James A. Logan became instrumental in founding a veterans network. He called it the Grand Army of the Republic. That was in 1866. And when Logan became their second elected national commander, he issued General Order Number 11. That was on May 5th, 1868. It called for a National Decoration Day on May 30th to honor fallen veterans with flowers and other decorum. Quote, "Let pleasant paths invite the coming and going of reverent visitors and found mourners. Let no vandalism of avarice, of neglect, no ravages of time testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of free and undivided republic, unquote. Logan's decree was the first to establish Memorial Day as a day of remembrance occurring at the end of May. In the Illinois state song, only 3 people are mentioned by name. 2 are presidents, Abraham Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant. The third might be lesser known, yet arguably as important to our national history, General John A. Logan. Still, with Logan's impressive legacy, which boasts statues, museums, and schools, his greatest achievement can be said to lie at the adorned headstone of each and every soldier who's remembered on Memorial Day for their selfless sacrifice.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss, a once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema. After an initial 4-month or longer dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
One crunchy bite of a Hershey's cookies and cream bar, and I'm taken right back to college move-in day. I was a little overwhelmed by the newness of it all. Boxes were everywhere, I needed a break from unpacking. But just as I was able to take a breath and open my Hershey's cookies and cream bar, my new roommate Rachel walked in. I offered her a piece, but she said no. Then after a beat, she said, "Actually, those are my favorite ones." We laughed. The ice was broken, and we've been friends ever since.
Hershey's. It's your happy place.
The Box of Oddities with Kat and Jethro Gilligan-Toth.
Wow, that was almost like a Ken Burns documentary. That was well done. Was that our pal Lindsay?
You know it is.
Lindsay does a great Garrison Keillor voice, doesn't he?
He's wonderful.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about Lindsay, thatvoguy.com.
And it's an amazing website name.
He claims to record all of his voiceovers in a tree full of wee Saxon elves. Says right on his website it says that.
I don't understand that at all, but okay. So it's your turn. You're gonna have a story from me?
I do have a story for you. It's so weird you did that Civil War thing in the middle for me, because guess what my topic's about? The Civil War. But kind of a weird, until recently, unexplained phenomenon that haunted generations. After the Battle of Shiloh.
Intrigue.
Apparently, after the Battle of Shiloh, some of the wounded soldiers started glowing blue.
What?
Yeah, and then the ones that did glow blue recovered at a much faster and more successful rate than people who had been wounded and did not glow blue. They call it angel's glow. And apparently there have been firsthand accounts, guys that were survivors of the Battle of Shiloh that experienced it, that said that they sensed a presence that was wandering around the field, and they called them angels. But there was no evidence of that other than the fact that some of their wounds glowed blue and then they healed, and others didn't, and they did not heal as successfully. The Battle of Shiloh produced more than 23,000 casualties over a 2-day period.
Oh my God.
And that was the bloodiest battle to date until a year later when Gettysburg took place. And then, it eclipsed what happened at Shiloh. On April 6th, 1862, Confederate soldiers, according to Wikipedia, surprised Union soldiers. They were camped out along the Tennessee River, and the idea was the Confederacy wanted to push the Union troops back before their reinforcements came. The South came very close to winning this decisive fight. They weren't too far from actually achieving victory, even though they were outnumbered like 60,000 to 40,000. But then the General Buell's Army of the Ohio showed up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. You know that I'm like super ignorant when it comes to Civil War stuff because I have you. And so I have all the answers. I just need to ask first. So where's the Battle of Shiloh taking place?
Tennessee.
Where did it was in Tennessee. Okay.
And it's named the Battle of Shiloh because it took place in and around Shiloh Church.
Okay.
It was the church was named Shiloh.
Okay.
It was, what was it? Pittsburgh Landing. But imagine this, 23,000 casualties lying in a relatively small area next to a river. It was like a swamp there. The medics at the time, there weren't enough of them, anywhere near enough to deal with 23,000 guys lying in the muck. And when they did, their techniques and practices were bordering on barbaric. They didn't understand germs. They didn't understand antiseptics. Right. When they amputated, which they did a lot of, they would do hundreds of them at a time. And the surgeon would saw the guy's leg off, throw it in a pile. They would move him away. The surgeon would take a deep breath. He would wipe off his surgical saw on his bloody apron, and they'd bring the next one in. And it went on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, and when we were at the Mutter Museum, there were some medical instruments that they had used during that time, and the case for them was lined in like velvet, which I can't imagine hinders the growth of bacteria and germs.
It's like putting them in a petri dish.
Right.
A high percentage of people that died in the Civil War died from either disease or infection after the wound had taken place. Some of the weapons were relatively new and incredibly barbaric, like canister shells. That essentially was like a big coffee can full of ball bearings, and they would shoot it out of a cannon at oncoming troops. And there are descriptions that I've read of that happening. The guys would fire the cannon into a line of oncoming soldiers, and it's described as it turned the soldiers into pink mist.
Oh my gosh.
There was nothing left.
That's
in many cases.
Very descriptive.
So you've got 23,000 guys lying in a swamp.
Bleeding out, germs.
Some of them laid there for 2 days before they got any help.
Man.
On the second night, the Battle of Shiloh, this strange phenomenon started taking place. People looking out over the battlefield, or people that were out there trying to administer aid to the fallen, started noticing this strange bluish light glowing on the battlefield in many areas, and they went out to investigate. And every time it was a wounded soldier, and it was the wound that they had received that was glowing.
So it was not just that it appeared blue, it's that it was emanating a blue glow.
It was glowing blue. Captain James Cuddy Dinwiddie was a Confederate military surgeon who inadvertently advanced treatment against microorganisms and infections. He witnessed the carnage at Battle of Shiloh and was greatly interested by the increased survival of those wounded that exhibited, quote, angel's glow. He was convinced that the soldiers that did not survive, that did not have the angel's glow, were subjected to bad or foul air. So what he started doing was boiling his instruments and the bed sheets and anything that would touch the soldiers with the idea of blocking any bad air. He didn't understand that he was killing the germs in doing it. But because of this, because of angel's glow, the search for antiseptic began.
That's amazing.
Well, throughout history, the story of the angel's glow has been passed down from generation to generation.
Sure.
Nobody understood what happened. They assigned it to some sort of a supernatural event. They thought they were angels walking around and healing people. and turning their wounds blue.
Sure.
And because,
as angels do all the time. They're known for turning wounds blue.
And then, of course, those with the blue glowing wounds got better at a much higher rate than the others. So, I mean, at the time, they put all those things together and they said, well, it's got to be the hand of God, or it's got to be angel intervention, or something like that. It wasn't until 2001 that it was discovered what was actually causing this. And it was discovered by a 17-year-old high school student in his science fair project.
What?
Guy named Bill Martin.
I like him already. He sounds trustworthy.
Along with a friend, Jonathan Curtis, I guess Bill Martin's mother was a microbiologist and was doing work in P. luminescens, things that glow in the dark, specifically parasitic worms called parasitic worms.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. Okay.
I lost my place. Thread worms is what they're called. So Bill was interested in his mom's work with P. luminescens and had the idea that perhaps this had something to do with angel's glow, which he had heard about on a trip to a battlefield.
Cool. It's science fair time.
Now, these worms, what they do is they puke out P. luminescens bacteria, and they puke it out on insects, and it kills the insects, and then they feast on the insects. What's interesting about the bacteria, not only does it kill insects, but it tends to kill any competing bacteria that it might find. So the boys did a series of tests in a laboratory, and it turned out that that's exactly what happened. These guys were shot and were fighting in a swamp, essentially. They were lying in the mud for a couple of days, and these worms, as gross as it sounds, got into their wounds.
As they will.
And they puked up this P. luminescens, which killed bacteria that could have caused more infection. And it also glowed blue. And it's interesting that it does glow blue. The reason it does glow blue is because the light attracts insects, which they feed on.
Right. Smart little bugs.
Yeah. So this supernatural experience that people talked about for 150 years nearly turned out to be just parasitic worms getting into wounds on Civil War soldiers, vomiting out P. luminescens, making the thing glow, killing the bacteria, and helping them heal.
That's, my science fair, I blended up bananas and strawberries, and I put it on people's faces. And I was like, see how nice your skin feels?
Did their skin feel nice?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. Yeah. It was just, it was easy and delicious, which is my way out of just about any task. Oh, we got some yard work to do. How about instead we go shopping and get donuts?
The good bacteria, of course, killed off all the infection causing the pathogens in the wounds. But when men were taken to the hospital and warmed up, it killed off the P. luminescens, preventing it from causing additional infection. The fact that it was in a swamp or swampy, wetland, mucky area that they were hurt. And during the battle, the temperature was unseasonably cold. So those conditions combined to create the opportunity for this type of thing happening.
And then when they got back to the hospital, it killed off the P. luminescens, which the timing was important because if it had kept on P. luminescenting, that would have become a problem too, right?
Yeah, but the fact that they were warmed up, it killed them. So even though they didn't know what was happening, it all worked out in a weird...
That is pretty magical.
Disgusting way.
Yeah.
Angel's glow, everyone. Not to be confused with angel lust. Look that up. You're actually looking it up.
Oh, it looks like a nice pudding cake. Oh, no. That's different.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there you have it. Angel's glow. Simple, explainable. It just took 150 years.
I really enjoyed that.
That was weird.
Thank you. And if you had started off by saying, I'm going to tell you a story about worms, I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
But instead, I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was fun. Can we talk about our T-shirts that we have available now?
we've got some merch available on our website,
Yeah,
theboxofoddities.com.
And one of them has a freak flag on it.
We have a freak flag line.
It's so fun.
We had a lot of requests for freak flags, so there is a whole series of freak flag products as well as our logo and things like that. And jump on there and take a look. And if you do get any type of Box of Oddities merch, send us a picture of it wherever you are, wearing it or drinking out of it or whatever you do with the merch that you buy.
It is 100% necessary that you do that. It's part of your contract. Your purchasing contract is that you send us a picture of your products.
That's not true, but it would be great if you did. It'd be great if you did.
Do it.
Thank you so much for the encouragement. We really do appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it's true. I have so much fun doing this, and I'm real happy that we get to. It's fun, and that you want to hang out with us.
And that you accept us, and you don't try to change us.
I feel like you're going to launch into song.
No, I'm not going to launch into song.
All right, so just a couple days now.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Keep flying that freak flag.
Fly it proudly.
And so, let it be known that the Box of Oddities belongs to you, and its fate is in your hands. Therefore, it's been requested by those I report to beseech you for assistance. The Box of Oddities is free. We ask but one thing of you, to provide a 5-star rating and a positive review. True, that is 2 things. However, 'tis merely a 5-star rating and a positive review. Also, subscribe to us. Okay, so 3 things is all we ask. 3 things and 3 things only. Henceforth, the Box of Oddities commits to the telling of stories. Stories of the strange, the bizarre, the unexpected. We wish to offer our deeply felt gratitude and appreciation for your patronage. TheBoxOfOddities.com. On Facebook at facebook.com/Box of Oddities Podcast. On Twitter at Box of Oddities. And Instagram at Box of Oddities Podcast. Copyright 2018. All rights reserved.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights, and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection, in-store or online at pandora.net, and let your summer unfold.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.